Today I want to talk to you about the top 10 most OP card in CB0.18. You know, they introduced the new game mode was to destroy the towers, and now basically, you know, the leader health got reduced by a lot. Now melee has 8 health, like we didn't see on Guan Yu, and Nuwa has 6 health, and that's changed a lot of the meta, right? And a lot of the cards that were maybe bad before are a little bit better now, and some cards that were really good are less stronger. So a lot of stuff changed. And here will be, because of the balance of how the game mode plays and you know how it got changed, that will be my opinion into the top 10 most OP cards right now. So we're going to see the first one, which is wait a second, did I found him? Is right here, is Hebois. So Hebois used to be a really good tempo play, but then will just die by a basic attack from a leader, and you know that was not that good before because the leader was had a lot of health. But now with healer only having 6 and 8 health, if a range leader attacks Hebois, is going to take half his health as a punishment for killing Hebois. And if a melee leader can't reach Hebois, Hebois is going to have so much value for just attacking him over 2 turns for 6 damage, for example, or he can push for objectives also. And also, because you can summon stuff around your summoning stones, you can summon Hebois out of range much more easily if you're playing Guan Yu, that needs to be in the front line, and much more safer. So Hebois, because now he can be placed in a better position, is really up there. And you know the tempo play is really good and everything. So Hebois definitely, I believe, because if we make him a 2-1, it will be a little bit better. Right now it's really powerful. Moving on, it's also in the Chinese Pantheon, and it's gonna be Aoquang. Now Aoquang receive a health buff from 5 to 6, and you know they also change his ability, which means that all your friendly spells will 1 more damage. You know, if you combine that with Dragon King, for example, Dragon Heal Dance deal 8 damage because it procs on both. And with Rushing Thunder that got reduced in mana cost, now Rushing Thunder deals 2 instead of 1 to everything. And Rushing Thunder also hits the opponent's summoning stones, which means that Aoquang now is really good with his ability to be combo with like Crescent Blaze. Forget that one you can do before the turn, the 5 mana turn, and then combo it whenever Aoquang's is played. So yeah, the synergy with Aoquang is insane now with your deck. The Manifold Blades, the Crescent Blades, the Projection, the Dragon Kings, you know, there's a lot of stuff. But also, they did increase his health, so now it's a 5 mana for 5/6, which is really good stats if you think about it. So not only he has good stat as a body, and it's hard to remove because he has 6 health, it also really good synergizes with the Pantheon, and it's a little bit OP when you think about that. That, you know, you play him and then you can like wipe a board, and the next turn you can just have the health of a summoning stone. So let's move on now to number 8, and it is in Greek, and it's going to be Athena. Now Athena received an attack buff, so it went up to from 2 to 3. And now her ability is that whenever you place her on the battlefield, she deals 2 damage to all adjacent enemies. So this is basically the same thing as Sun Wukong, but you don't need to be positioned well when dropping Athena because you can put it anywhere on map. So it's Sun Wukong Ox ability, sorry, that deals 2 damage AoE around him. So yeah, Athena is a basic card which does something better than Sun Wukong, which is a legendary, which means that you can have 2 Athenas when you can only have 1 Sun Wukong, giving that Sun Wukong also has 2 other abilities, and he has 3 more attack. But you get the point, they're really similar, and it's really powerful ability to, you know, deal 2 damage with. That's like potentially 16 damage. So yeah, but not only that, it's also kind of the ability of Anubis, which Anubis is a 3 in a line, and deal 3 damage and root. But Athena deals less damage, doesn't root, but can hit much more easily. So, and Anubis is also another legendary, you can only have 1, while Athena's you can have 2 of them, and they're basic cards. So Athena, not only her ability now is like really OP, but also it can hit summoning stones, and she got an attack buff, which can push for stone damage even faster. So yeah, that's why she makes the number 8. Now number 7, it is a sneaky one. It's a census. Why? Because a census basically because of two things, right? The first one is directly because you got a help, one more help. So now it's basically the same amount of cost and stats than Doom Speaker, but with a ability that, you know, if he adjacent to a friendly, he will attack all adjacent enemies, which is basically always because you're always adjacent to your Bellona or anything else, right? You're like the point of Roman is to move together through the objectives. So yeah, basically almost always proc that. I never had a misplay or never had a chance to not proc it basically with a census. And the only thing is that now that Summoning Stone has 0 attack, it means that, for example, if you kill the opponent leader and you have an Ascensions on play on the side of the map, no matter what they summon around the Summoning Stones, even the leader, you can just use a census, attack the Summoning Stone, and deal 3 damage to the Summoning Stone and everything that is summoned around it. And that is pretty nuts, because not only you're pushing for 3 damage, but it also has like no return damage and deals damage around it. So Sense is really powerful card with that. Moving on to number 6, we're going to have the Frost Giant again, Ymir. Now Ymir it's basically like so much value. He's so good he could be a legendary. Like, you know, he doesn't take return damage because he stunned the enemy whenever he attacks, and then the enemies can't move, can't attack, can't do anything, and just die. And like, Ymir is basically stun locking an opponent, and it can be their leader also. And it also has 3 attacks, so it's basically the same stats as Athena, 3/7, but it costs 1 mana less. And you can also have 2, and it's also basic, and it's like really powerful because whenever he attacks, he stuns the target, so he can attack anybody in the map, and it will never be able to kill Ymir. So yeah, Ymir is still really powerful card in the game. Now we have an interesting one at number 5, and it's going to be the Bold Demon King. And why? Basically because of the same stuff that is Census. If you have a Bold Demon King, right, and you attack the Summoning Stone, you can deal 4 damage to everything around your Bold Demon King, which was adjacent to the Summoning Stone, which is adjacent to where the spawn. So if you have, like, your leader got killed, and you have no more, and then you're going against, for example, Norse, and you deploy a bunch of stuff, they can just play on turn 6 Bold Demon King and charge, hit your stone, and basically kill your boat unless you play something that has really high health, for example, Guardians. So yeah, Bold Demon King, definitely the top 5 here. Really strong card. You can even buff his health with like Bellona if you wanted to stick on board. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do with him. Then we're going back to Norse with charge. So for 1 mana, being able to give charge to a unit is so powerful, especially when you can use the Bold Demon Kings in your deck, you can have the Ymirs in your deck, the Loki that can push 6 damage, and just for 1 more mana. So, you know, if we were talking about the other ones, you know, maybe Athena reduces AoE from 2 to 1 to nerf it a little bit. A Census could, you know, not proc the AoE damage if you attack a Summoning Stone. Bold Demon King will be the same thing. If you attack Summoning Stone, don't do the AoE damage. And he can also be reduced his attack or his health from 1 probably, because it's really powerful right now, a 4/6. Anyways, for Ymir, you could also lower his attack or lower his health, because that's a lot of stats for 5 mana and ability insanely. And charge, you could basically put it in where it was before. It was 2 mana before for charge, and every Pantheon could use it, and every Pantheon was using it because it's like really strong. So yeah, I think that charge going up to 2 mana will also help a lot here for players, because like right now Norse are everywhere. It's a little bit annoying because you can't play really much around charge stuff, especially when they can give it to all their units. Then we're gonna have another card in Norse, and it's going to be Web of Wyrd. And this card, like, Norse doesn't even need that card, and it's really annoying. Like, they could just delete that card and everything will be so much funnier in the game, right? Because, for example, a 5/7 Ymir, it's like so nuts, especially if you can charge him. Like, that happened in my last game. Get a Emir from the Web of Wyrd and then a charging like insane. You know, even charging a Tor with a Web of Wyrd is so much damage that you can put directly to the stones. The Web of Wyrd Loki, man, this is like 8-3 ambush. Like, so hard to deal with ambush. There's so few cards that can deal with an ambush target. Even a Scotty 4-3 I think is one of the worst, but not only you're getting the Scotty 4-3 from the Web of Wyrd, but when you're going to play the Scotty, you're going to get a Caldeer, so it's like value out of value. Having Fenrir, I think it has a 4-3 when it spawns is probably one of the awkward, because you know you want your Fenrir to go big and not go, you know, you want him to have health and not attack, because he's just going to get attack if each time you don't attack for him. But you're not guaranteed to have Fenrir as a bad choice because you have 3 choices, right? So you have like 3 here and 3 there with the soul. You have 6 choices. So even if you get Fenrir in one of them, you can choose another one. So all of these ones are real powerful, and one of the worst one is soul, because you get a 3/2 soul that can attack the summoning stone and deal AoE damage to everything around it for free, or attack the melee leader and deal AoE damage to everything you just summoned, because when you summon you need to be adjacent, so you're always going to be adjacent. So soul is really powerful being in 3/2 with Web of Wyrd. So yeah, this is why Web of Wyrd is really, really good right now. So moving into the second one, which is gonna be something that is so good right now, and it's going to be annulation. So annulation, it deals 3 damage to all enemies, and this includes summoning stones. So most of the time you will hit for sure the opposing leader and the 2 summoning stones for 3 damage. So you're guaranteed 9 damage, and then over whatever they have on board, you're just gonna have so much more value out of it. So yeah, a nerf for annulation though, I really don't know. This is such a hard place to go with annulation. Oh, by the way, the nerf for Web will probably just maybe just remove it to the game because it's not fun. But if you really want it, maybe just add 1 attack instead of 2, because 2 attacks so powerful. Or just change it to, instead of giving it attack, give it health, so at least you know we can react to it instead of just instantly die to do Web Wyrd a charge or stuff like that. So yeah, right, a 1/4 soul is a lot less annoying than a 3/2 soul, because soul has charge. Anyways, you get the point. And annulation, that's a card that you get so much value out of it, but it's legendary at the same time. But yeah, it's really awkward right now to place it. But you know, with there's not much burst coming out of Egyptian, so it's kind of okay. It will be in another pantheon like North will be like so much like insane and better. But you know, Egyptian only has like I believe Magma Slam and Annihilation. Yeah, can hit the Summoning Stones, and Anubis. Maybe even Focus Blast. But you know, there's not the best burst you can have. So yeah, but it's still really good Annihilation. And then before going to the number 1, I want to give a special mention to something that's not a card, but it's so, you know, it goes under the radar right now because all the games are so fast that you can't see the potential of this one, and it's Freya, right? Freya being a leader. Freya, for 2 mana you can banish a unit until your next turn, and you know, not only it costs 1 less mana than in the last patch, but also last patch it was 4 range, but now it's infinite range. So no matter what your Freya is, you can literally banish something that's in the map. Like, no, there's no more range, and that for 2 mana. Now you compare Freya ability, which for example Poseidon one, and Poseidon is basically the same thing but with a root. Why will you root your enemy? Because for the same cost you can banish it and put it out of the game. It's way better Freya than Poseidon actually, and like by a lot. And they have, you know, both of them are melee, both are 1/8, and they're just in different pantheons, and Freya is just so better. You know, I don't think that putting every leader with the same mana cost for their ability was a good thing. I still prefer it to be, you know, they have different abilities with different mana cost and different impact on the game, right? For example, Isis should probably be the same one but cost 1 mana instead of 2. But, you know, that's another story. So moving on into the first one, and the most OP thing right now, I believe, because I played a lot against it, and it's so frustrating, it's a soul. And why soul? Well, you see like 2 mana for a 1/2 charge that deals AoE damage, well, it's not too bad, right? But soul in itself, it is so good, you can play it on the first turn and like already hit the opponent, your opponent leader. If it's melee and then it can't be in range, it needs to put removal. But what about if you put an Ansys and you give +1/+1 to your soul? Then she's a 2/3. And what if you're playing Odin and you have more mana because you're in the late game and you top deck the soul? Then you can use your ability of Odin on soul, and then you're a 3/4 if you Ansys it at the start of the game. Now you have a 3/4. That's kind of really good and annoying, right? Okay. But now you can combo it with like Fatalis, of course. You can also put it with a Soldier. That's a lot of damage. It's a 4/4 now. And one of the most annoying thing is combining with a Siege. Because when she attacks the Summoning Stones, she deals AoE damage. So it will attack everything that just got summoned, unless, you know, it was on their leader. And if it was on their leader, and it's melee, Soul can basically attack it for free again and hit everything that's around it. But then Siege makes it that if you attack the Summoning Stone, you get +2 damage. So then you're around like 6-5 damage with a soul. It's really good, really powerful, and yeah. But what if you get your soul from Wyrd? Well, then you have +2 attack again. So just by going it from Web of Wyrd and Odin's ability, you get a 4/2 soul charge that can attack, you know, everything into an AoE. It's really powerful. And if you combine it with a Siege, it's like 6 attack. And it happened to me. And one of the most annoying things is that you can get Soul into Web of Wyrd into double Soul. And I played like 2 games in a row when I had to deal with 4 souls and Siege and Odin's buff and like I didn't have Soldier in that one, but I got Fatalis with that, like 8 damage. Like she can attack, like you got it from Web of Wyrd, you combine it with Odin, and then it's like a 4/2. You attack something, you like just skill it, and then you Fatalis, you attack the other thing because she's ranged, so she knows she's got really good coverage, and because she has charge, she can move. So it's like, you know, it's not only 4 range charge, it's like 6 range charge because she can move. And yeah, it's just so insane how impossible, you know, because when your opponent plays Soul and do all of her stuff, it's everything in the same turn because she has charge, so you can't react to her. And then on your turn, for example, it was on the 7 mana turn, and my opponent had, you know, a Soul. He played a Soul, and then put an Omen +1/+1 on it, and then he played another Soul that was from Web of Wyrd, and he buffs it with Odin, right? So that cost him 6 mana, and then it was my 7 mana turn, and I had Aokwang Rushing Thunder, and Aokwang Rushing Thunder deals 2 damage, but because my opponent had a soul buff by Odin and another soul buff by the Ansys, my like good combo counter didn't do anything against him, and then my Aokwang just died to the souls, and he attacked my Summoning Stone instead of my Aokwang, and then my Aokwang died, and then I just lost the game the next turn. I mean, I couldn't do anything, and that's what is really annoying and why Soul is really powerful. Anyways, that was my top 10 of the most annoying, powerful OP cards that we have in this patch. I hope that you learned a lot. I hope that you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon.